Greetings. Welcome to 7004 Instructional Leadership. This video that I'm going to talk about today is going to be a little long, primarily because there's about 3 or 4 things I need you to know and be confident in doing in succession to get a particular assignment done. So if you look at your syllabus, one of your assignments is an article analysis, where you have to take a peer-reviewed journal article, read and analyze, and then take specific sets of notes. So I want to show you how to go through all of that from start to finish. So let's get started. You see, I'm starting here with the University of Memphis webpage. You have paid for this service, so the reason why I want you to use it is because you have paid for it. So what you'll do is start here at the webpage, go to Menu, click Menu, go to University Libraries, or Libraries, University Library. You click that, give that a second, and now what you're going to be doing is searching databases. There's a way to look at specific journals, and I may do a video just to show you that, but you'll look at databases here. So hit database, you go search databases by subject. So we're in education, so we'll scroll down to education, and then click submit. Now what you'll do from here is scroll down to education full text, which is right here. And you'll click education full text, and that will take you to your primary site. Now what you also have to do is then sign in. So you do your sign in as I'm doing mine. I hope I get this right with these complicated sign-ins. And voila, you're in. So now you've probably seen this Boolean search before. But before you do anything on here, what I need you to do is scroll down and click for scholarly peer-reviewed journal articles. Now, the reason why we do this is because in order for us to trust the articles, we have to know that it's gone through a scholarly peer review. Anyone can write anything about anything and put it up and present it as facts. But this particular thing indicates that it has gone through the peer review process, which is, although not perfect, gives it that much more credibility than just taking an article from Time magazine or from Forbes magazine or something like that. So we want to make sure we're grabbing from journals that have gone through the peer review process. Now, once you're here, you then start your search. So I'm going to start a simple search with just the name of the course, Instructional Leadership, and see what that gets us. So right now we have a search result of 733 articles. Now we can be a little more specific. So I do instructional leadership. Let's say, for example, I put in urban education and see if that narrows it down for me. All right. So now it's narrowed it down to 29 articles. Now, does that mean that all 29 articles are perfect? No. You have to go through and begin to read and look at things. Now, my general caveat is you want to stay as recent as possible. It can take anywhere from a year to a year and a half or 2 years to get an article published. So if you look at this one here, 2017, it could have been written in 2015. So I need you to keep that in mind. And having said that, I want you to make sure that you're no older than, let's say, 7 years in finding your articles, unless it's a very good article that every article you've read has reference back to that particular article, then you should go get that particular article. Now, we'll look here and say, okay, the challenges of opportunities for school improvement, recommendations for urban school principals. Well, let's check this one out. Now, here, you let you know your availability. It says link to full text. But we're going to go into this, and I generally go and open up another window because I don't want to lose the search and start the search again. Then I'll click here, and I'll read the abstract. The abstract is supposed to be a summary of the entire article. So I'll take a moment and kind of review through the abstract, determine if it's worth looking at or not. So oftentimes you can see what type of study that it is. In this one, it really doesn't give you the type of study that it uses, but I will take a look at it. So I'll go to link to full text, open that, and it should give me the actual text, because right now it's just searching for it out here somewhere. And voila, it does. So this is in Education and Urban Society, 2017, volume 49, issue number 4. And it lets you know the approximate pages that it's in. And then you go through and look at the particular article. So what I normally do here is I'll download this article, open up as a PDF, and then I will save as. Now, when you save as, let's say, for example, I'll save it in this particular folder here. What I'm looking to save, first thing I do is I take the name, last name of the person. So that last name is Dolph. A piece of the title, so I can know to refer, what to refer to as. So challenges and opportunities. Dash. And then the year, we said 2017. Now, what I also do for the purpose of doing my references and things like that is I'll get a little information about the volume number and the issue. So 49, 4, and then the pages 363 to 387. That makes it a little easier on me when I have to go back and do my references. So I'll click here. I've now saved this article. I'm going to minimize it really quick and go back here because I want to show you something. You have to do your article reference and you have to use your APA manual. Now I'm going to show you something that I don't want you to get caught up in. So a lot of people will go here to cite and it'll give you a citation format, and they'll go here and do APA and copy this and put it in as a reference. Well, if you look at this, the name isn't there and everything is uppercase. So if you follow APA Manual Chapter 7, 7.01, it'll tell you directly how you're supposed to do the APA reference. And this will be a violation of that. So you have to make sure that you are doing it correctly. And the only way to do it correctly is to follow your APA manual. But I need to show you that because I don't want you to fall in that pitfall and make a mistake in your work. So go back here to the actual article. And now I want to show you how to read it, all right? Because you do not have to read everything word for word unless you just love reading. So, but to do, of course, you have to understand the article. So the abstract helps. So you read the abstract, make sure you understand essentially what it's about. The introduction will give you kind of an opening to everything, kind of a policy background. You see a nation at risk and all these things. It talks about the Dayton City Schools, so I'm guessing they're focusing on Ohio and Illinois. So you can read this, but I would suggest lightly skimming this. This is just giving you the background and setup of the article. Now, the literature review here comes in subjects. So challenges facing urban schools. And you begin to read here. And scrolling through, just lightly reading. You're not really taking notes at this point till you figure out what kind of article this is. So second section, methods of school reform. And once again, carrying through all this, importance of principal leadership. This looks to be more of a literature paper rather than a research paper. So, and you can do literature papers as well. They give you a lot of good information. So yeah, this one appears not to be a particular study, but it's important. Where do we go from here? So I was giving you ideas that they're generating from the literature that you can begin to start taking notes in. All right. So analysis and recommendations. So this article's coming to a close. So let me show you how you would do this one. There are 3 types of papers you'll look at: qualitative, quantitative, and of course literature review. Now in a literature review, there are no findings. So you're going to have to look at the entire article and take pieces from the organization of the literature. So what I suggest you doing then is this. You have to produce a particular document. In that document, it will look like this. All right. So the first thing you do is you have to develop a code. If I'm doing instructional leadership, it will be instructional leadership here. One means that that's the first article I've looked at and the first element of that article. So 1-1. And that's generally going to always be the reference. So you got to make sure you have the reference correct. And once again, uppercase for the beginning, and uppercase for, of course, black as a proper pronoun, but everything else is lowercase. And then, of course, you have your article title, reference, the volume and issue number, and then the pages. Now, after that, article 1, title, point 2, second point, is where you start putting your major points. And you put them in small doses. You don't want to do a whole lot. You got to make sure they're organized. So you have a theme of this particular section or piece, and you start putting notes inside. Now, here's a caveat on notes. Always put notes in your own words. Be sure you do that. Always put notes in your own words. That keeps you from plagiarizing later on if you use this for writing. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 parts, and then I have a new article. But I do a page break, so everything's separated by that article. So what you'll do is actually start going into the actual article and begin to start reading. Once again, skip the introduction because that's just setting the stage. The first thing I would do is here, challenges of facing urban schools. And I would read through this and pull out what I believe to be some valid points. I would say 3 to 5 points made in this particular section. Once again, you got to read through it and understand it, but pull out those particular sections and then bullet them into this document right here. So begin to start doing that, and you do that for each of those major sections, and then you're done. But putting them in your words. So you take what they've written and you rephrase it in your words. You rarely ever take a person's direct quote unless they say something that you can't say better yourself. And that's got to be remarkable. Then what you would do is take their direct words and use those words, but you have to also then credit a particular page number where you got it from. For example, here, teachers rely on normative assumptions regarding intellectual capacities of black males in the slower their academic expectations, page 72. So that is a direct quote. And when I've taken that direct quote, I've also assigned a page number. So if I use it later on in my writing, I can make sure that I give the proper citation and documentation of that direct quote. But anything other than that can be considered a form of plagiarism. So you do not want to ever find yourself in that situation. So therefore, I suggest you do this as a way of getting this particular assignment and activity done. So that is it for now. I may do another video showing you how to do different types of articles, but what you're going to do is don't get yourself wrapped up in reading the entire thing. You go for what you know to be true. And in a literature piece where there is no findings or results, you're going to be working with the entire document. And having said that, I'll let you go.